Such a powerful time that we're coming into right now, the spring equinox. So, this is really your opportunity to just skyrocket towards that which you want because the energies are here available for you. Now, there are several times in the year where this happens, and also some moments where this happens on the mind level. For example, when the clock strikes midnight and it's a new year, new you, and new goals and new targets and aspirations. Now, oftentimes for many people, this doesn't actually last through the month because it's only on the mind level. So, what we want to do is use the masculine energy and the combination with the feminine energy, the mind and that intuition, the energy that's available to us right now to create those long lasting results. And this is why the practice of ritual is so important. This is why in shamanism, this is a big part of the tradition that we're simplifying this for the mind, enabling it to use the energies that are available to it at a particular time, such as right now. So right now is a great time for this. I am sharing with you again 5 rituals that you can do to support you in transitioning into a new season and to really creating that which you want. So let's dive right in. Okay, so the equinox comes from the Latin word. It really means balance, okay? It's when the day and the night are equal. So we are called to come into balance. And now the reason that, I love the fall equinox, but the spring equinox is so powerful because it is that energy of birthing, of creating, of fertility, of abundance. So we need to come into this equilibrium first, and then from that place, asking, what do I want to create? What am I here to create? And again, not just from the mind, but also from the soul. We're combining the masculine and the feminine to get really clear on our purpose and intention. So I'm going to share with you 5 rituals and also a special bonus, so make sure you stay until the end. How do we actually utilize these energies? So the first one, I'm going to begin with a very simple one that you may think that this really doesn't change much. It does for the mind. The power of ritual is transformational. There's so much books and so much research on it. I'm not even going to get into it. You can look that up on your own if you want to. But really what I'm bringing in here, it may seem ridiculous on the mind level, like meditation, right? It's kind of like, okay, sitting with your eyes closed doesn't really do much now, does it? But when you experience and just the peace and the fulfillment, the serenity that you feel if you do it long term, it's indescribable in words. It's a lot more than just sitting with your eyes closed. So this is the same thing. It may not seem as much, but when you feel it, it can transform your life. So, number 1, honoring the earth. So the equinox, unlike the solstice, which is more about the fire element, the equinox is more about the balance. It's more about the earth. So it's like the sky and the earth. We're connecting, we're earthing. Acknowledging the earth for supporting you through winter. We're coming into a new season, but it's important to give thanks and gratitude to what supported us to get to where we are now. So this can include a very mindful walk in nature. It can be also a divination walk. I don't actually want to bring that into this video right now because it's a deeper topic. But going into nature, just what do you have for me today? Going into a forest, around a lake, giving gratitude for your vessel, for your body, for carrying you through life. So often we go into, this is wrong, or this isn't the right shape, or this doesn't look the way I want it to. Can you love your body? Can you appreciate your vessel? Can you appreciate the earth element that is within you? Because how can anything improve if you're there just beating yourself up for how it's not enough? Think about it. Would you want, if you had a friend who would always tell you what a piece of crap you are, would you want to be around that person? Would you want to do anything for that person? It's the same energy. When you're there criticizing your body all the time, it will give you nothing but hardship, illnesses. It's not that energy that you want to make that energy exchange flow of I love it and it's supporting me. And somebody's got to start first. So how about that be you? So getting back to the first step, that is connecting to the earth, thanking the earth. It can be in the form of the food that you're receiving, and there's going to be the next step in regards to a feast, but the food that sustained you for all of winter, how your body functions. So really giving thanks for that fertile soil that took you to where you are right now, and that will allow for creation of those seeds, for the creation process, the growing of those seeds that you are about to plant. So this is a really important step: grounding, centering, connecting. Number 2, feast. This is where you get to acknowledge the food. This is where you get to make a ceremony out of it. This is so important. A completely different thing in your mind shifts when you create a ceremony. It's a celebration. You really understand the importance of it. New Year, I mean, if there were no fireworks and there was no celebration, it would be like, oh, just another day. Same with your birthday, right? If you don't celebrate, it's like, okay, just another year passed. Not really acknowledging it. Make a ceremony out of it, because it imprints differently in your mind. So therefore, you are more likely to, when you have that clear transition, you're more likely to show up as a different person. And so many people teach this: to create a different life, a different personal reality, you have to have a different personality. You have to be a different person. And those transitions, those rituals, help us to come into a different version of us. In the ancient cultures, they had a transition from boy to manhood, which is so missing right now. There's so many men that just aren't, able to understand what does it really mean to be a man, a provider, step into this power. Women as well, from little girl to women, it's something you're holding the sacredness of this intuition, connecting to the feminine, that representing that life itself. Again, that is something that has been lost. And it's the importance of that ritual, understanding that we are now a different personality. We now stand for something greater, something bigger, something stronger. And this is what these rituals such as feast create, even if it's just you. It doesn't have to be a big family gathering. If it's just you, making a meal from this place of love and connection of, I really get to give to myself. I put pretty flowers, or I just set the table nicely, that this is me giving to me. Create that ritual. It's really important. Number 3, speaking of ritual, an altar. So this is a sacred place in your home. It doesn't have to be a big thing. It can be small. My first one was, it was a piece of driftwood. That was my first altar. It was just bringing something from nature into your home and honoring it. Like, this represents something. This is a sacred object. Many people have pictures of loved ones. So personally, in every single room I have one. It is acknowledgement of the 4 elements. So I have a little, and my kids also have that actually, a little plate, or it's actually a big metallic tray that I have in my room. And it is something from the earth. So it can be a stone, a driftwood, a pine cone, really, seashells, maybe even sand. The next one is water, like a bowl of water, a candle for the fire element, and a feather or incense for the earth, for the air element. So that's just something, if elements are part of your practice, that is a fantastic way to bring that energy into your home. It can be pictures of ancestors. It can be pictures of saints. Just create that sacred space within your home, welcoming spirit in. Next one, number 4. Number 4 is bringing spring into your home. Now we're going to get to number 5, which I'm so excited about, but bringing spring into your home, this is part of the feast. This is part of the ritualization, that transition. You are out of winter. It's the same as when people are feeling down, when they're feeling depressed. If you don't consciously choose to come out of it and just wait for it to pass, it never will. You're still going to have ups and downs. But if you identify with, I am feeling sad right now, or I am feeling ill, I'm sick. Oh, this is a good one. I'm sick, right? And people identify with that identity until there's that, I am now healthy. I'm now going through healing. My body's getting a lot better now. If you don't make that conscious decision, that can linger on for a very long time. So this is the same thing. We're transitioning from winter. We are done with that. Okay, we're coming out of hiding. We're welcoming in this new abundance, this birthing, this opportunity of creation, this motivation, ideas, where when you're bringing these things in, right, nature elements, you're communicating to life, I'm open, create through me. This is a really big difference between, okay, I'm depressed, and winter and cold and home, and okay, new possibilities. I'm here, I'm open, I'm wide. This is, not here. I was just doing a workshop in the Powerful Self membership, and we just recently talked about it, that in the room, you can have the same object. But when I say green. Focus on something green. It's not that I brought in more green things, but just your reticular activating system now sees green is important. Where do I spot it? This is the same thing. When we're welcoming in spring, we're welcoming in that in a ritualistic way, just by bringing in flowers or some elements of, it can be Easter, even decorating like, with, let's say bunnies or eggs or whatever feels like Easter to you. We're welcoming in that energy. So we're putting that reticular activating system not on looking for, okay, winter, cold, but, or maybe like, okay, this is my cozy season. Maybe it's not, maybe it's like, okay, this was my cozy and getting comfortable season too. Okay, it's my season for creation now. And I'm looking for those opportunities. I'm looking for ideas. So this is why this is important. Welcoming spring into your home, the energy of spring. Understanding what is actually underneath that, understanding the symbolism of it. And this is why, again, shamanism is all about rituals and symbolism and what it represents. It's speaking the languages of subconscious. That's there, speaking in stories and metaphors. So this too, allow those physical things to be a metaphor for something greater, for those qualities that you're looking to bring into your life. We got to my favorite one, number 5. Seeds. It's all about planting seeds. It's about what seeds are you planting? What energy are you bringing in? What are you giving your energy to? The thoughts, the words, the actions. Are they in alignment? This is a really important one. What are you giving your energy to? Are there people, events, circumstances in your life that are really not serving you, and you're just, it's weeds. It's having weeds in your garden that are there taking the energy from the plants, that actually you want those plants to grow. So taking out the weeds, whether it's, again, people, circumstances, maybe you keep showing up to things that aren't serving you. Like, it feels good. Maybe it's like short-term gratification, but long-term, there's no gratification. Does not feel good, right? Let's say you eat something unhealthy. It tastes amazing, but your body feels horrible afterwards. Short-term, long-term gratifications. Is that the kind of seed that you want to plant? So understanding where are those weeds, taking those out. The fertile soil, we talked about in the first one, you're really connecting to that earth element. This is why that first step is important for the 5th one. Metaphorically, you're just welcoming the earth, connecting to the earth and that fertile soil within you, the fertile soil that is your mind. So what are the seeds that you want to plant there? I would strongly recommend this is a time to create some affirmations. Affirmations is something that is basically an affirmations, but formed in a question. So instead of, I am so abundant, it goes, why am I so abundant? Because the mind is programmed to look for solutions when you ask it questions. So for some people that say, well, affirmations don't work, try affirmations. You're forming that, you're looking for validation of that which you are stating. So why am I so abundant? Why are things always working out for me? Why am I in such a great relationship? Why am I amazing? Your mind will find solutions to prove you right. So what seeds are you planting in there? What's serving you? What doesn't? Creating a plan for yourself. What is your target? And this is so powerful because this is the last month of the quarter and we're beginning a new quarter in April. So not only is it the equinox and you get to focus what do you want to do for the next 3 months or 6 months if you have 6 months goals, but and it's great because then the fall equinox, we're celebrating the harvest. So it's really, what are you going to create in the next 6 months? Right now is the seeds, and then you get the harvest. What kind of harvest do you want to see? And you get to go into the 3 months if you are working in a quarter system, because as they say, successful people, they focus on one target per quarter. So what do you want to create in the next 3 months? What results do you want to see? And then go backwards from there. Okay, those are the results. How do I get to them? And it doesn't have to be as scary as you think it is. Just what is the one yes step? And write that out maybe per month or maybe every 2 weeks to just stay, how's the seed doing? You want to be checking in on the seeds. And this is not in a way that, okay, I have to be digging up the seed every single time to see how it's growing. It's not going to grow that way. You're not going to see anything if you keep doing that. So it's not about going into, okay, maybe this is not working. Maybe this is the wrong seed and questioning it all the time. Decide what you want. And I'm going to talk about this in a minute because I'm actually offering an equinox ceremony where we're coming into really deciding not from just the mind, but from the heart and the soul. So having crystal clear clarity. What do I want to create? What is looking to come through me right now? and allowing that, creating an action plan from that place. And this is really important for men especially, but it's great for women. But I find that this comes a lot more naturally to my female clients than male clients, because the men kind of go, it's okay, what needs to be done just on the mind level. And I mean, it gets done, but it's so much harder. Well, what's available to you here, just that, you can glide through it, not just keep stepping slowly and slowly through it, which is how the masculine thinks. So when we're coming into that connection of what wants to be created through me and how do I combine that with the mind, it's a completely different experience. So coming back to the seeds, that you want to check in on what's working, what isn't. And again, this is something that I'm going to address in the ceremony as well, because it's not just a ceremony, but what are those action steps so that this can sustain you for the next 3 months. So checking in, how am I doing, what's working, what isn't, what feels in alignment, what doesn't. Because again, we can go into, this is my target and I'm going for it, and reach burnout. And then even if we do reach that target, it's like, well, this feels horrible and unfulfilling, first of all, because I'm burned out. Or if we're reaching for that target, which we think is going to make us happy, and then we get there and there's this disappointment. And I know this crushed feeling. This is why I experienced depression many years ago, that seemingly I have everything I want on the outside. Why am I so miserable? Because you're after the wrong thing. Because we're not connecting to the heart first. And it's what the mind thinks, I'll be happy when. I have to check all these things on my list and I'll be happy when. And we're completely disconnected from the soul, from the heart. When you combine those two, it's a completely different world. Your life shifts completely, because you feel you have purpose, because you're doing that which actually matters to you, to your heart. And it's not something you have to seek, like it's within you. We all came with that blueprint of what we're here to create. It's just about tuning in and, actually looking at that blueprint like, okay, this is it. This is why I'm here, and I'm living that purpose. So I can't help but smile really wide when I'm talking about this, because it seemed like it's so unavailable to many people. They don't focus on that, but that's when life actually, it's the difference between seeing life in gray and in color. Just, it's transformational. And it's always available to us. It's always available. So the last step, number 5, planting those seeds on the mental level, in your environment, those targets and goals, and making sure that you water them, that you're consistent. Again, equinox ceremony, but that you're consistent, that you're there nourishing and nurturing it, to make sure that you're going to have this richness and abundance during the fall harvest. So on this note, let me know what landed for you. Which one can you commit to? Maybe all 5? I don't know. Let me know down below which is one that spoke to you the most, which one you're committing to, and why. I would love to know, why did it speak to you? And sometimes it could be like, I don't know, it just feels right. And sometimes because, you would have ooh, I love to do that as a child, and this is kind of like that. It's like, maybe I love to eat, so I want to have a feast. So let me know below. I would love to hear it. And if you want to hear some more information about the equinox ceremony, I'm going to share it right now. So this is your opportunity to basically connect to the earth and really create that fertile soil, fertile ground, to create that which you want. We're going to get crystal clear. We're going to tune into the heart. We're going to combine the heart and the mind, what needs to be done, what wants to be done, and combine the two, because it's not an either or. We've been taught into, okay, so you either do what you have to do, or you do what lights you up. You can't do both. You have to choose. And it's usually you either have to do the hard thing and then you're, successful, or you have to do the miserable thing. Or if you do the thing that makes you feel good, then you're not as wealthy, but at least you're happy. Or here you're wealthy, but then you're miserable. It's not both. We want both, okay? And you can have both. So the importance of these ceremonies is that we're tuning in. It's a really ritualistic practice. You don't need to have anything ready for this. So I'm just going to have my things that you're going to be able to see on the screen and just connect with that, with the 4 elements. We're going to create that fertile soil on several levels. We're going to be crystal clear on that which wants to come through us. So you have a plan for the next 3 months and actions, like a blueprint, action steps. How do I move forward with that which I want?